Filmer Podcast, Ep.8. Back again. This is Jerron here, and about to kick off another episode. Have to apologize for my tardiness. It's been a crazy few weeks here lately. Getting ready for the release of The Reaper Man coming April 18th on all digital platforms and on demand, and getting promotional content in order for it, and all of these requirements that I have to get done for it. And I have a publicist for the film, so doing these interviews and getting all this material together for them, just trying to prep for a successful release of that film, along with some surprising success on my series turned movie Down Bad that's on Tubi. And just been a crazy few weeks, and writing scripts and getting ready for my upcoming slate of films that I plan to produce this summer. So it's just been a busy couple of weeks, but we're here. That's all that matters. This is Ep.8 of the Guerilla Filmer Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the outdated belief in film festivals. The outdated belief in film festivals. And this is a pretty good topic, I think, because there is a lot of belief in film festivals today. Modern times, there's this belief amongst filmmakers that film festivals are the one all and be all to success when it comes to your film. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that mindset, because early on I had it as well. Not so much now, but early on I had that mindset as well when it came to film festivals. So let's talk about it. My first couple films, I used to load it up. Film Freeway. It used to be, was it Without a Box? I believe was one of the more original sites that's now out of business. And now I think it's Film Freeway is pretty much the monopoly in the film festival submission game, and used to load up my watch list, load them up, paying all of this money in film festival submissions, and maybe 80, probably closer to 90% getting rejections. And it's a science to submissions that probably took me a little too long to learn. You have to research these festivals. You have to see what fits your project when you're submitting to these festivals. You have to make sure that festival is a fit for you. Make sure that festival's theme for the year is a fit for you. Instead of just blindly submitting to these film festivals. You're just asking to throw money down the drain if you're blindly submitting to a lot of these festivals. So you need to do your research on the front end and just kind of research whatever festival you're thinking about submitting to, just to make sure that that festival is a fit for your project. And an old belief that I used to have, that I believe a lot of filmmakers still do, is that submitting to these festivals is a easy way into distribution. I get accepted to this film festival, wherever you submitting to, and you think that distributors are going to be there waiting to talk to you and email you about your film to give you distribution. And for one, if you have that belief, you still have a belief that distributors are just out here seeking content like that, which a lot of that thinking is outdated in in this day and time. A lot of that thinking is outdated. So you kind of have to know what to expect when you submit to these film festivals. All festivals aren't the same. You have to check reviews. Ask fellow filmmakers you know that have been accepted into these festivals. You know, some festivals are more friendly, more caring about the film festival, about the filmmaker. My apologies. And you have to know just more about that festival. Check the reviews. Ask other filmmakers. Some film festivals are better experiences than others, and you have to know that before you submit to them, before you go there and expecting something that it isn't, and you will leave disappointed. And I know that feeling because I've been to a few myself where I drove all this time. Went to one I want. I'm not gonna say the city, but I drove 6 hours to get there, room, and I could have just enjoyed the city. Like the festival was trash. Uh, I regretted that entire trip. So sometimes you have to research and just see if that festival is a fit for you. All festivals, aren't the same, and also um, out of state versus in state. Your likelihood of being accepted to a festival depends on a lot of that. It depends on um, are you in state talent? Are you out of state talent? Not saying that being out of state you won't be, but a lot of festivals love to showcase and promote in-state talent. So you have a better chance, especially if you're in that particular city where that festival is happening. You have a better chance of getting in that festival. So your hometown festivals, your home state festivals should really be higher up on your list when it comes to festival submissions. Um, Whenever you get ready to enter your film into that festival um, world. So these are questions that you have to ask yourself. What am I looking for? What am I planning to do? And why am I submitting to this festival? You need to know those answers instead of just blindly submitting to these festivals and basically throwing money down the drain. Because if you have, that intention of just throwing it out there, see who loves it, you will waste way more money in the end of it than you ever will. And one thing when especially when you're submitting to this festival, you kind of have to know what type of festival it is. Some of my favorite festivals, personally, I love Indie Memphis here in my state. Uh, Earlier this year, I went to the Den Black Film Festival in Den, Texas. Linda Eady, Harry Eady, good people. I enjoy that festival. But there's been quite a few that I didn't enjoy my experience. And there's been quite a few where, I realized that the festival itself was a cash grab. And when I say cash grab, um, you have a bunch of them out there. You have festivals that you submit to, they're awards festivals, whatever. And you're basically paying for a laurel. And if that's your intent, do you just love to pay for festivals just to get awards? I mean, that could work for you. That is a form of marketing. That is a form of advertising, getting, chatter around your film. When people see those laurels, especially people who aren't um part of the film industry, they put a lot of belief, put a lot of those laurels kind of have pizzazz behind them. It makes you seem important. So it is it is a great way of advertising or putting some chatter behind your film, because those laurels make it seem like that project is doing rather well, and it can help you when you do get to the distribution process and trying to get your film out into the world. But you do have festivals out there where all you have to do is submit and you'll get a laurel. I've seen a festival. I've been a part of a festival. Literally gives everybody an award. You'll get an award thinking, "Oh man, I got best film, best director, best actor," and you see that same exact that exact award awarded to somebody else in that same festival. So you have some out there. They're kind of participation trophy type festivals, is what I call them. Everybody gets an award, everybody gets a laurel, and they get their money. Yeah, I mean, I hate to put it that way, but if you're not thinking of film festivals as businesses nowadays, you are really lost. And a lot of that is it's taken into their selection process, because festivals are businesses. They are a business. You have a lot of festivals out here that truly do care about the filmmaker. Their filmmaker ran, but they also cost money. Sponsorships help pay for that. Your film festival submissions help pay for that. And they are a business. Um, and especially nowadays, if you're still one of those that are, just really want to put film festivals on your priority list of things to do with your film, you have to know what type of film you have, and the likelihood that that film will be accepted. What type of film is it? Short or feature? I can tell you a short has way better chances of getting accepted over a feature. Why? Because you can program more of them. So I'm gonna let you do the math. All right. You have this feature film, about 2 hours long. You're taking up a whole 2 hour block in that day. Um, you may not sell plenty of tickets, but you and your one feature film in this 2 hour block, or what if I can squeeze in, say, five, six, seven, eight, even 10 short films in that 2 hour block. So you have what, 5 to 10 more chances of selling more tickets for that block and filling that block out than this one person, this one filmmaker, or this one team with this one feature within this 2 hour block. You see what I'm saying? So you have a way better chance as a short film maker of getting your film accepted in these festivals. They can program more, they can have more guests, they can sell more tickets. So when you start thinking of film festivals as businesses, true, they're out here helping filmmakers. They really do care about you as a filmmaker, but they also have to pay the bills. They also have to pay for the catering, the printing, the screening fees. It is a business, and a lot of that goes into the programming choices with these festivals. And one of my main issues with film festivals, one of the reasons why it's not a priority when it comes to my films, um, is it takes them forever to tell you something. I used to wait and wanting to, because you always hear you got to hold your premiere status with these festivals, because it most of these festivals want to world premiere it or premiere it regionally or however it is in that certain area, and you would hold your film almost a year uh just for a rejection, and a lot of times, you know some of these places know right off the bat your film is not a match for them. They do not want your film, but they will not tell you. They will just wait all the way until the notification date before they finally reject your film. And here you are holding your film when you could have been prepping for release or doing something else with it. Um, the whole entire time. And that's always been my issue with festivals personally, is that, you know, I've been maybe one. I believe it was the Oxford Film Festival, and I appreciate them. I appreciate festivals like that, that, you know, you submit, and as soon as they can get a screener to screen it, they let you know right then this is not for us. They don't have you waiting months and months thinking, oh man, they're still reviewing it, that you have a chance of getting to that festival. They go ahead and tell you, hey, this is not going to be a fit for us. Thank you for submitting. And I can appreciate that, instead of, tagging you along, and then eventually 2 days after the notification date telling you that copy and paste rejection letter. You don't even get a personal rejection letter. You don't get any feedback or anything at all. You just get the same copy and paste rejection letter, um, that you could tell that they basically give every filmmaker that they reject. $50 submission fees, $60 submission fees, 40, 30, even if it's $10 submission fees, you should at least get a personal rejection letter instead of a copy and paste. And that is my issue with a lot of these festivals. Um, it just got to the point where I was so tired of wasting money. Um, that I can't even, get that much back in return when you tell me no. So, it matters on you personally. What are your goals with that festival? What are you trying to do? Because, they are a business. You have a lot of great festivals like Indie Memphis, because I deal with them a lot. They have grants that they give their filmmakers. Um, you have a network of filmmakers who come every year that you can, um, you know, talk to and meet and greet, and it's a close knit community. And a lot of times, if film festivals is something that you're still planning for, something that you're still doing, that's what you need to look forward to over the awards, over the anything else that you're looking for, the glitz and the glamour of the film festival. You should be going for networking, meeting fellow filmmakers, meeting like-minded individuals in the arts as you, creating relationships. I mean, you may meet a DP, a actor, a actress, at some of these film festivals. That's what it's about nowadays. If you're still submitting thinking that you're about to get your film sold to Netflix and, um, you know, have this big break, you're gonna be disappointed. Very disappointed, because it's not the case anymore. It's not the 90s anymore. Streaming and all of this is so much more um available that you can pretty much do a lot of this yourself. My distribution deal, my film, The Reaper Man, I submitted directly to that distributor. Matter of fact, I submitted that before I even did a festival submission. And the only reason I've submitted that film for film festivals is more to market it. Um, I wanted to get it out there in a few festivals, shake a few hands, meet a few critics, hopefully. My whole plan behind submitting to some of these festivals was to market it, and hopefully by then I would have heard back from a distributor and the film would be ready for release. Which this time it kind of happened quicker than I expected it. As I was about to submit for some of these festivals, I submitted to a distributor. A distributor got right back with me, and usually you get these long set away release dates, but this one came with a pretty quick release date, and I've only shown it at one festival. So some of those submission fees, unless they don't have a premiere requirement, I know one does, that I'm probably gonna get disqualified from. But the others, unless I didn't see it in their rules clearly, but unless they don't care about it being distributed worldwide as it screens there, we'll see. And that leads me into another point. Um, don't submit to a festival unless you really have the intent of traveling to that festival. I mean, it does no good if you're screening at a festival and you have absolutely no intent of going yourself or sending a representative of your film to go. Like I said, the whole thought behind submissions is to network, to go and meet like-minded individuals, go and meet some industry professionals, meeting people, networking. And if you're not going to go and represent your film, no matter where you're submitting it, why are you doing it? Why? Because if you're still thinking that I'm going to submit this film and Quentin Tarantino is going to be in the audience and he's going to be like, that was the greatest film I've ever seen. Let me tell my friends about this film, and hopefully one of my producer friends will reach out to them and make their dreams come true. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. That sounds unbelievable in this day and time. It's just not going to happen. Even festivals like Sundance, South by Southwest, and Tribeca, and the bigger tier 1 festivals, the likelihood of you just submitting and getting into those festivals is very low. Unless you have a celebrity attached, or somebody within the festival, or somebody to give you a word, it's very low likelihood you'll get accepted. Because once again, I will reiterate, these are businesses. What is your value to them of them programming your film? So you have to have a little humble pie about yourself and think of that. Whatever type of film that you're doing, is it niche based? Like me, as you can tell, I'm a black filmmaker. So naturally, I'm going to submit to more black film festivals. I mean, that's just naturally. The Reaper Man, if it's a black horror film festival, my likelihood rises even more. Horror film festivals, black film festivals, I'm going to submit to those first because my likelihood of getting accepted is higher. And then even if it's just a national film festival, I'm going to look for the category that best fits my film. I'm also going to look at past films accepted to make sure my film is a fit regardless. Especially with a horror film. Because you will lose money because a lot of places will not program it. They'll have an after dark category and stuff like that, but they mean more dark comedies and stuff that they can't show around family. They don't necessarily mean horror films. Some of them will put them in there, but so what is your goal? Are you looking for awards and to be pat on the back? I mean, it'll happen, but if you're basing everything on that, you're going to get disappointed. I remember recently I went to a festival. Everybody telling me, man, you're going to get that award. You're going to get that award. And I started believing that. I started believing that that award was mine. I'm going to get best feature, best director or something. And I remember when the awards came, I was disappointed because I didn't get any of it. But I was mad at myself because I let myself start to believe I started to care more about the awards than the event. You know, I knew better. I was there to network. I was there to meet some more filmmakers, meet some more actors, actresses, meet a critic or two, go to some of these seminars, learn a skill, because those places usually have some good information. And if you're there on a film, or it's pretty good free information. So now my focus is mostly just release. Whenever I write, produce a film, I'm ready for the release. I prep for the release. I may still submit to a festival here and there, but most of the time that's just because I like that festival. Like Indie Memphis, I usually submit to that festival every year just because it's hometown festival. But other than that, my list is almost non-existent, because for me personally as a filmmaker, it's just defeats the purpose. For one, because I absolutely hate having to wait to hear anything back. Like right now, my film has been completed since, maybe we screened it October of last year, so a little bit before Halloween, my film was completed. So imagine me submitting to a film festival, and the final film festival, whatever, is the notification date is December of this year, the next year after, and waiting all the way then just to get a rejection. And it was a film festival that I wanted to go to, but I held on because they had up under their little requirements that premiere status is required. So I'm holding my little film, showing all my release plans to the side, because I want to premiere, at least give them the premiere status if they accept my film. And I wait all the way until the notification date just to hear this copy and paste rejection. We had a record number of submissions. Your film was good and it was a hard decision, but we can't accept your film this year. Would you like a discount code? No. Copy and paste stuff. They don't even give you a personal rejection. So you're telling me that's a year that I've basically put my film on hold when I could have been prepping for a release, prepping for, life, after we locked the edit of that film. It's just outdated thinking. And if you have a feature film, most filmmakers who have features have already caught on to this, but you could save those submission fees and hire a publicist. And I promise you, you'll get a bigger return of investment than going after film festivals. And I hate to sound like I'm anti-film festival, because I'm not. They're great places to meet fellow filmmakers. They're great places to, if you're not four-walling your film, it's a great place to see your film on a big screen. Not a lot of places have that opportunity. And the men and women behind these festivals, most of them, because you do have some out there that are just cash grabs. They take the money and give you a crappy experience. But for, the majority of the filmmaker ran people who just love film, the, cinephiles, they truly care about the filmmaker. And those are the film festivals, like, myself, that I like to frequent those. Like I said, Indie Memphis and then Black Film Festival, I love them. So most of the time, even when film festivals aren't on my priority list, I'll still submit just to, have the chance to go and check them out. So what are your goals when you release your film? If you're releasing a short film, go ahead. Submit to those film festivals. Your acceptance rate goes up if it's not too long. If you're dealing with a 30-minute short film, some of these on the longer end. You remember that little talk I was telling you about programming? If you're on the shorter end, 5-10 minute, go ahead and submit to a film festival. Try your shot. Shorts to me right now are meant for the festival circuit. If you're a feature filmmaker, have a reason. And that reason needs to be based on advertisement, marketing, networking, getting the word out about that film. Because if you're submitting for distribution, if you're submitting for awards, you're higher to get disappointed than you are to get a leave happy. And you still have distributors that frequent some of these film festivals. You still have them. Don't let me make you think it's not. But the likelihood of you getting the one you're thinking you're going to get is not going to be there. You got a lot of smaller distributors that's there looking for work, looking for films. But you also have to be wary of that. That's actually going to be the next episode. I'm going to kind of talk about distribution. And some of this will kind of go into that. But you have a lot of distributors out there that kind of shady as well. Kind of like you have shady film festivals, you have shady distributors. So you need to read your reviews when you're thinking about submitting to some of these festivals. Read them. These filmmakers will tell you. Most of the time, it's a first or second year film festival. Expect some bumpy roads because they're figuring it out themselves. It may take 1, 2, 3 years for them to find their groove and have that thing going the way it should be. I've been to a first year festival that ran pretty well, but you could tell it was a first year festival. So just know your goals. Know what you want to do. Know what your intention is. I mean, if you want to submit for a distributor, hey, do it. Just don't be surprised when your expectations aren't met. I would tell all my feature filmmakers, if you're gonna submit, let it be mostly for marketing, and do not wait for them. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do with your film. If you planned on releasing it, couple months from now, plan on releasing it a couple months from now. Do not surround your entire future of that film around film festival dates, because more likely than not, you're going to get rejected and you're going to be disappointed and you're going to be angry. So hopefully that's something that changes. Hopefully a lot of these festivals, because, a lot of these screeners are volunteers. They love watching movies. Hopefully that's something that film festivals do better at. Hey, this film is not our cup of tea. We appreciate you for submitting it. Instead of waiting 6 months, 7, 8 months to tell you no, and you kind of got all your plans on halt. It's something to think about when you're submitting to these festivals. And I don't want nobody to think I'm anti-film festival, because I'm not. I still enjoy a festival or two. It's just me and the way I work as a feature filmmaker. It's not a priority for me anymore. If you're out here making short films, go for it. To me, that's who they're for right now. That's the modern film festival is tailor made for short film filmmakers. But when you're creating this for a business, you're trying to sell to streaming sites and stuff, you need to think of film festivals as advertising, as marketing and networking. And make sure you go. Make sure you have the intent to go if you submit. And I think you will have a better experience if that is the way that you're looking at it, you know. Lower your expectations and know that you're gambling whenever you pay those submission fees. Me personally, I'd rather save those submission fees and hire me a publicist, because right now, for the Reaper Man, if you Google it right now, publicist is doing a very good job getting that word out. Way more than I've ever had it before. So that would be my advice to my filmmakers out there. I hope you're enjoying the show. This is the 8th episode. Episode 9, we're going to talk about distribution. Get a little bit into that. Kind of, you know, talk about some stuff that I already talked about in this episode, because it kind of goes hand in hand. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday. And once again, I apologize for this late episode. It's been crazy. As I look forward to my first worldwide and on-demand release that I've been working hard here behind the scenes. It's crazy, you know, that I'm going to be able to, I don't have Dish or DirecTV, but it's crazy that you'll be able to turn one of those services on and see my film on it. I'm kind of excited to see how all this goes, to see how far all this goes. So, about to get back to that. I got a little bit more promotional content to work on. It's going to be a grind out here, and looking forward to it. So I'll see you all here in another week or so. I will be back on schedule. This won't happen again. And you are listening to the Guerilla Filmer Podcast, Episode 8. Make sure you follow me on all socials at Guerilla Filmer. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, although I'm rarely on that. Guerilla Filmer, GUERILLAFILMER. That's my username on all of my social sites, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So y'all follow me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page. If you're on Facebook, like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. And I will see you guys in another week or so. This is Ron. I'm out. Guerilla Film Podcast.